We got one, bitch. We got one, bitch. We got one. 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 I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why I'm so turned. That first shot be having a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? All right. This video, serial killers caught on camera. Finally, fuck the interrogation bullshit. Let's watch some shit where niggas is getting caught on camera, bro. Real shit.
You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video of a serial killer, that's worth a lifetime of nightmares.
Whoa.
Crazy thing about the serial killers in this video is that everyone thought they were normal people like you and me. For instance, this serial killer called the Night Stalker was responsible for the death of over 14 men and women.
I heard about him.
Still, he lived a seemingly normal life until the surveillance video revealed his true nature.
I heard about him. You know what's actually so crazy? Some girl actually got lucky because I read the documentary of that nigga. Some girl got lucky. He was in a game show. The niggas put him on a game show, which is wicked. Niggas put him on a game show, right? The nigga ended up winning the game show. And he had to take a girl on a date, right? So he asked to take the girl on a date, but the girl was like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. This nigga, he seems a little off. She saved her own life. I ain't gonna lie. God was on her side that day, bro. Word of my mother.
So, without further ado, let's get started on the list of these killers. Stephen Griffith. At the tender age of 17, Stephen Griffith committed his first known act of violence. He stabbed a supermarket manager, which resulted in a 3-year imprisonment. This early incident was a precursor to his later crimes, and an indication of the path that Griffiths was beginning to tread. Diagnosed as a schizoid psychopath in the early 1990s, he had already expressed a chilling interest in becoming a serial killer. Despite his troubled past, Griffiths presented a mask of normalcy, enrolling in a PhD program at the University of Bradford, where he
Wait, hold on, huh? The nigga enrolled in the wait, what?
Studied homicide in the 19th century and its modern parallels. However, beneath this academic pursuit lay a dark obsession with serial killers, an obsession that local police feared would manifest in reality. Their concerns were not unfounded. In the years leading up to his crimes, Griffith's collection of hunting weapons was seized, and he was found to have read extensively on the subject of dismemberment. Susan Rushworth, Shelley Armitage, and Suzanne Blamires. All 3 women were sex workers from Bradford, West Yorkshire, whom Griffiths lured back to his apartment with deceitful intentions. Once there, he subjected them to a fate that was as brutal as it was unthinkable. In fact, he admitted to the police that he had dismembered their bodies and skinned them using power tools, a hammer, knives, and a samurai sword.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know. That video right there with him with the, I don't know, do he got a crossbow? Where the fuck you get a crossbow from? Yo, that video with him with a crossbow is crazy, nigga. That shit looks scary as fuck.
Griffith's final victim was a chilling episode that unfolded on CCTV.
And my thing is, yo, bro, nigga, you getting pussy, nigga. How you still a loser? You're getting ass. How are you still a loser getting ass? Yo, bro, I don't understand it. You're getting ass. How? What the fuck? Like, I understand if you like 30 years old, you lonely, no pussy, nothing, bro. But you getting ass, my nigga. You paying these girls, and then you want to kill them? The fuck is wrong with you?
The footage captured Griffith's pursuit of Blamires as she attempted to run down the corridor of his apartment building. With cold precision, he shot her with a crossbow bolt to the head at point-blank range. The camera recorded as he dragged her body back to his apartment, a dark scene that would later seal his fate. The aftermath of this brutal act was swift. On May 20th, 2010, a caretaker reviewing the CCTV footage stumbled upon the horrifying murder. The police were immediately notified, leading to Griffith's arrest. In a gruesome twist, Griffiths proudly identified himself as the crossbow cannibal upon his capture. What was more horrifying was the fact that the police officers discovered 81 pieces of Miss Blamires' body in a nearby river, including her hands and head, which still had the crossbow bolt and knife embedded in it. Furthermore, part of Miss Armitage's spine and flesh, his earlier victim, were also found in the area. However, the chilling images of crossbow cannibal Stephen Griffiths brazenly celebrating his final murder in front of a CCTV camera will undoubtedly cement his place in criminal history. Never before has such explicit video footage of a murderer in action been made public. The trial that followed was a mere formality, as Griffiths pleaded guilty to all 3 murders. On December 21st, 2010, he was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. The man who once studied killers was now confined mind as one, his name forever etched in disgrace. Griffith's case is a reminder of the duality that can exist within a person, a duality that, when unleashed, can lead to acts of unspeakable cruelty. His crimes, captured on camera for the world to see, offer a window into the mind of a killer, a mind that walked a fine line between fascination and replication.
Okay.
You may question what it is that
Alright,
pushes
go on
these
to the
people
next
to
nigga,
these
bro.
barbaric acts.
Come on,
And
this nigga's crazy, but go on to the
unfortunately,
next
you may
nigga,
never
bro.
get an all-around
Fuck.
answer, which even makes the next killer on this list
There
more
you go.
confusing. Nathan Maynard Ellis and David Leasley.
Two people?
The case of Nathan Maynard Ellis and David Leasley is a terrible story that unfolded in the West Midlands. It is a dark tale that would seem ripped from the script of a horror film, yet it was all too real for the unfortunate Julia Rawson, who met her demise in a scenario that would shock even the most seasoned crime enthusiasts. In May 2019, the streets of Dudley were the unsuspecting backdrop for a meeting.
The streets of where? Dudley? Oh, nah, remind me not to go there.
Would lead to a brutal and calculated murder. Maynard Ellis, a 30-year-old man with a deep-seated fascination for horror films and a disturbing addiction to fantasies involving the sexualized killing of women, crossed paths with Julia Rawson at a local pub. Rawson, a 42-year-old woman, was unaware that her casual interaction with Maynard Ellis would be her last. The chilling CCTV footage, later crucial evidence, showed Maynard Ellis engaging Rawson in conversation, his demeanor seemingly harmless. Yet, behind his eyes lay the intent of a predator. He lured her back to his flat in Tipton, where he shared with his boyfriend, 25-year-old David Leasley. The prosecution...
And this nigga is gay? Hold on, bro. So you're gay and you kill women? In GTA RP? You're gay and you kill women in GTA RP. What's the point? This is my thing. What's the point of this? What's the point? What's the point, bro? Like, are you getting a satisfaction doing this shit? Like, no. I got a question for him. I got a question. Do you feel good about yourself when you do this shit? Nah, real shit. Like, how do you feel? Because I know you're book snappity. Right now, he's locked up. But it's like, how do you feel doing this shit, bro? This shit make you feel good?
Would soon dub this flat as a flat of horrors, for within its walls lay an arsenal of weapons, including knives, saws, axes, and swords mounted in threatening positions. The couple's tiny home was a carefully crafted den of terror, where the unsuspecting Rawson was brutally attacked about the head with weapons. The horror did not end with the murder. A calculated and cold cover-up followed it. Maynard Ellis and Leasley dismembered Rawson's body into 11 pieces, hiding her remains in a bid to erase their heinous act from history. However, the truth has a way of surfacing, and it was the superb work of the West Midlands Police that brought the dark details to light. The investigation uncovered a bloodstain beneath a new underlay in the living room, a silent revelation of the violence that had occurred. The police...
You know what I always want to know? I was like, cause I be seeing people like when they try to look for bodies and shit, right? Like when cops try to look for bodies, they always search like the water and they end up finding them. My thing is like, how do they know where to go? You feel me? It's like, how do they know like the diameter and the circumference and like how deep they gotta go? Like, I don't be understanding that shit.
Police pieced together the events of that fateful night, and the role of CCTV footage was instrumental in painting a timeline of Rawson's last moments and the duo's subsequent actions. During the trial at Coventry Crown Court, the prosecutor, Karim Khalil QC, laid bare the gruesome details of the crime. The jury heard of Maynard Ellis's dark obsessions, which he chillingly brought to life that night. Both men, while admitting to perverting the course of justice and concealing a body, denied the murder. However, the evidence was overwhelming, and on the 9th of November, they were convicted. The judge, Mr. Justice Sewell, addressed the court, underlining the calculated nature of the murder and the extensive efforts made by the pair to conceal their crime. He was confident that both men had engaged in the attack and praised the police for their diligent work in a demanding case. The impact of the murder on Rawson's family was profound, with personal statements from her father, sister, and partner speaking to the terrible and lasting devastation they experienced.
I ain't gonna lie, I would've jumped at that nigga. See, that's the thing, like, God forbid, right? Anything happens, God forbid. And I know I'm protected by God. And I always pray. You feel me? I always make sure, I always pray. I always make sure I pray, and I always make sure to pray for protection and for peace. And for nobody to, like, I always pray to have, like, a shield around me and my parents, so that no matter what, nobody can never harm us, right? My thing is, you feel me, is like, I never understood, like, if I was to see like somebody that I love, and I see like my loved one's killer in a courthouse, and I understand everybody's different, right? But if I was to see my loved one's killer in court, I'm not gonna lie, I might jump at that nigga, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I might jump at that nigga. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it all the way a beam. Like I might jump. They gonna have to book me, like real shit. Cause the things like you got to think about it. Like you could be the most calmest person. You don't ever have to think about violence, nothing, right? But the moment something bad happens to like one of your loved ones or a family member, whatever the case may be, your brain is wired to your brain is wired to do some crazy shit that the human body is really wicked, bro. Okay, so you are capable to do a lot of shit that you never thought you would be capable of. When you get upset, like I'm talking about, you could be the most peacefulest person, bro, the most loving person, my nigga, and then you are in a situation like this. You feel me? God forbid, nigga, you know what you can do to a nigga, to your loved one's killer? Do you know? You could beat bro. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know.
The lead role in this brutal act was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 30 years. Leasley, under the spell of Maynard Ellis and complicit in the crime, received a life sentence with a minimum of 19 years. The judge made it clear that the pair had not only taken Rawson's life, but had also attempted a thorough cover-up, lying repeatedly to the authorities. The case of Maynard Ellis and Leasley is a tale of deception, brutality, and the relentless pursuit of justice, all captured by the unyielding gaze of the camera. However, what the next serial killer on this list brings is nothing short of evil. Howell Emanuel Donaldson III. In the seemingly quiet neighborhood of Seminole Heights, a series of horrific murders cast a shadow of terror. The community was on edge as 4 innocent lives were brutally taken between October and November of 2017.
Why?
The victims, Benjamin Mitchell, Monica Hoffa, Anthony
killed 4 black
Naiboa,
people?
and Ronald Felton
Why?
were all shot at close range in a style that sent chills down the spine of the Tampa Bay area. Furthermore, each victim was alone at the time of the attack, and none had any known connection to the killer, making the shootings all the more random and terrifying.
That's weird as fuck.
The perpetrator of these cold-blooded killings was a figure who blended into the everyday fabric of the city, a serial killer hiding in plain sight. The turning point in this horror tale came when surveillance footage from the vicinity of the murders captured a man in a distinctive hoodie. This seemingly innocuous piece of clothing became the key that unlocked the mystery of the Seminole.
My son got a UMP. UMPs exist. You got a UMP 45. You ain't see the cop nigga has a UMP 45. I thought that shit was fake.
Heights serial killer. The hoodie, colored with a unique logo, was seen in multiple surveillance videos, each appearing to coincide with the killing's dates and locations. It was this pattern that drew the attention of the authorities, marking the beginning of the end for the killer, later identified as Howell Emanuel Donaldson III. The silent testimony of the surveillance cameras was important. With each sighting of the hoodie-clad figure, the net around Donaldson tightened. The footage did not lie. It placed him in the scenes with chilling precision, painting a timeline of his movements. Armed with this visual evidence, the investigators connected Donaldson to the crimes, leading to his arrest on November 28, 2017. Besides the surveillance videos, Donaldson gave his boss a food bag with firearm and ammunition earlier that day for safekeeping, and then left. However, as the day went by, the manager decided to hand over the gun to the police, something that also gave the police a solid reason to pursue Howell for the recent killing. Howell had also hinted to a co-worker that he intended to leave the state, which raised more suspicion. Why would he first give out his gun for safekeeping, and later say that he wanted to leave the state?
The nigga from the Sniper DC.
Of grilling and interrogation by the police, Donaldson admitted to having purchased the gun on October 3rd, whereby the first of the 4 killings would be recorded on the 9th of that very month. Up until this point, all the pieces seemed to come into shape. However, a hoodie matching the one captured on the surveillance cameras was found upon searching his car. As if that wouldn't be more convincing, the police went ahead and took data from his cell phone to track his movement during that month. You guessed it right, Donaldson's locations placed him in all 4 scenes. After a tiresome investigation, his cell phone data was the final piece of the puzzle, or, as you may call it, the last nail to the coffin.
Wait, but wait, what's the motive? What is the motive?
At this point, it is clear that bloodshed is the intent of these killers. Otherwise, how would you put it? How do you describe this next serial killer?
No, that nigga's a demon. Word of my mother. Nah. This nigga's a savage. Is it him?
In the mid-1980s, an evil force known as the Night Stalker shook
He's a
California.
savage, bro.
His real name was Richard Ramirez.
Hey, he look
Born
creepy.
on
Look at this nigga.
29th of February 1960 in El Paso, Texas, Ramirez was the 5th child in a family of Mexican immigrants. His father, Julian, a former policeman and laborer, was prone to fits of rage, often unleashing
what we
violence
watching? Serial killers caught on camera.
His family. The young Ramirez did not
What's good,
escape
what's good?
unhurt, suffering head injuries that some, like psychiatrist
Kanaya,
Michael Stone,
the
believe
GOAT.
contributed to his later violent behavior. Ramirez's search for a father figure led him to his cousin Mike, a Vietnam War veteran with a love for recounting wartime
that's
atrocities, complete with graphic photographs of his victims. This
getting
exposure to
drunk?
violence at a young age would warp Ramirez's perception of the world. By 1973, Ramirez had witnessed his cousin commit a heinous act, shooting his own wife during an argument.
Damn.
This event seemed to intensify Ramirez's descent into darkness. As a teenager, he developed an interest in Satanism. His criminal activities began with petty thefts, but it wasn't long before he escalated to more violent crimes. Ramirez.
See, I'm a cute buck. I was a thief when I was younger. I was a thief. I'm not gonna lie, but I knew I wouldn't go overboard. That I knew his levels. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I used to steal little shit from like the stores, little shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? I used to steal little shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, I knew I wouldn't get to that point. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wouldn't get to that point. I'm saying used to. I'm not a thief no more. I'm saying used to. You feel me? You ever heard the saying, once a thief, always a thief? No, that doesn't work for me. All right, I'm not a thief no more. When I was younger, yes. But when people be like, yo, this nigga, he started off from little petty thefts and shit like that, and then he ranked himself up. It's like, yeah, nah, not me. Not me. I can't. I will never. I can't go from being a thief to fucking being a full-blown killer. What the fuck I look like, nigga? I would devastate, nigga. My mom would be devastated, nigga. You crazy? Bro, everything I do, everything I think about my mom. No cap, bro. No funny shit, my nigga. Obviously, it's so easy to do dumb shit, but it's the consequences is all on you, and then your mom will be devastated. Your family will be devastated.
Moved to California in
Niggas don't think
1982
like this?
began a new, more sinister chapter. It was in April 1984 that he claimed his first known victim, 9-year-old Mei Lung, in San Francisco. However, it was not until 1985 that Ramirez's spree of terror truly began. In June, he broke into the home of 79-year-old Jenny Vinco in Glassell Park, Los Angeles. There, he committed his first known murder as the Night Stalker, sexually assaulting and brutally slaying Vinco. The pattern of his crimes was savage and indiscriminate. He targeted men, women, and children, often breaking into homes in the dead of night. His methods were brutal. Victims were assaulted, tortured, and sometimes forced to swear on Satan. Ramirez left behind satanic symbols, a signature of his belief and a taunt to the authorities. Throughout his rampage, Ramirez claimed at least 14 lives and attempted to take many more. He assaulted and murdered Vincent and Maxine Zazara, mutilating Maxine in a fit of rage. He killed elderly sisters Marbell and Nettie Lang, drawing a pentagram on Lang's thigh. The list of his victims grew, with each crime scene more horrifying than the last. The media frenzy that followed dubbed him the walk-in killer and the Valley Intruder, as fear gripped Los Angeles and San Francisco. The police were desperate to catch the elusive killer, but Ramirez seemed always to be one step ahead. However, a footprint
Is this
from
nigga doing the salsa? This nigga did the salsa, bro? Oh, fuck no.
Sneakers that Ramirez often wore, along with
I've seen
fingerprints and
enough.
witness testimonies, helped the police piece together his
Give him a
identity.
DP.
On August 29th, 1989, they held a press conference declaring, "We know who you are now, and soon everyone else will. There will be no place you can hide." 2 days later, on the 31st of August, 1989, Ramirez's face was plastered across every news outlet. Recognized by civilians in an East Los Angeles store, he attempted to flee, carjacking attempts thwarted by onlookers. The public captured him, holding him down until the police arrived. Unfortunately, or as we'd argue, karma caught up with Ramirez as he would never see the gas chamber. He died of complications related to B-cell lymphoma on the...
Oh yeah, we know what happened. He ain't died because of that. We really know what the fuck happened. Them niggas got on his ass.
7th of June 2013 in San Quentin State Prison. Jesse Kempson. The case of Jesse Shane Kempson, a New Zealand killer who targeted young backpackers, is a horrifying tale of how a seemingly ordinary encounter can turn deadly. British backpacker Grace Millane met Kempson on Tinder's popular dating app during her solo trip to New Zealand. Unknown to her, this meeting would lead to a series of events culminating in her tragic demise. Grace, dressed in a...
But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. Now look, rest in peace to her, right? But I will say one thing, because I don't hold my tongue. I will say one thing, okay? You cannot fuck niggas on the first link. I'm sorry. It doesn't, I don't give a fuck how good the date is. You cannot fuck niggas on the first link. Don't go to their crib. don't go nowhere with these niggas if you met them on motherfucking Tinder. Like, no, and it's not her fault. All right, it's not her fault. I'm cute about this. I'm not gonna say it's her fault. You feel me? What I will say is she should have known better. You feel me? Like real shit. Like I understand it happens. You know, sex on the first link, first date, whatever. Like I get it. Trust me, I done had those. I done had those. You feel me? But the thing is, I'm not a crazy nigga. 9 times out of 10. Now, don't get me wrong, girls are crazy, but 9 times out of 10, men are more crazier. You feel what I'm saying? Like, majority of the women, they want to have a good time, you feel me? Like, you know, they want to vibe, they drunk, they want, you know, the vibes going right. All right, so, you know, you get a piece of this pussy. That's what they be thinking in their head. You feel me? But you can't do that to everybody, especially on these fucking dating apps, my nigga. Because these niggas are psychos. Psychos. These solo trips always end bad, yes, terribly.
A black dress was captured on CCTV walking through the December streets, her steps unknowingly leading her to a fatal meeting. The footage showed Kempson alone at the Bluestone bar before meeting Grace. Their Tinder-arranged date progressed as they visited various venues, including Andy's Burger and Bar and the Mexican Cafe in Auckland. The cameras meticulously recorded their interactions, from casual conversations to the intimate moment they were spotted kissing at the Bluestone Room bar. The chilling narrative continued as Kempson was seen with his arm around Grace, entering the City Life
Niggas
Hotel
be having
where
herpes,
he
all type of
resided.
shit.
These were the last images of Grace alive, the final frames of her captured by the unblinking eyes of the hotel's security cameras.
Look, see? She's smiling and shit. Yo, I hate seeing shit like this. Because it's like, when I see shit like this, it's like, damn, they don't even know what's about to happen. Like, they don't even know, bro. And that shit be so scary to me, my nigga. Because it's like, damn, bro. Like, I wish I could have warned you. I could have saved you from this piece of shit. You feel me? Niggas like this are pieces of shit. Like niggas like this gotta get a break to the fucking... I'm not even gonna say it, because I'm on stream.
As they headed toward Kempson's room,
I
what
hate shit like this.
transpired inside was a scene of horror where Kempson strangled Grace to death during what he later claimed to be rough sex. Kempson emerged from his room alone the following day, donning different clothing.
That's cap, because nigga, I don't... Yo, bro. Yo, nigga, this is my stream, nigga. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I done had a rough sex, okay? Never goes like this, I'll tell you that. Hey, I'll tell you that. It will never go like this. Ever, nigga. Fuck.
His actions following the murder were methodically caught on camera. He visited a store to purchase a large suitcase and then another to buy cleaning products. The cameras followed as he rented a car, a prelude to his gruesome attempt to dispose of Grace's body. As Grace lay dead, Kempson continued his day, going on a date with an ex-journalist he had been texting. The CCTV footage later showed him returning to his room with a rented cleaning machine and additional cleaning products. He was then captured using a trolley from the hotel reception to transport 2 large suitcases, one containing the folded body of Grace Millane, to his rental car, which he parked at a nearby car park overnight. Kempson's digital footprint extended beyond the physical realm as he searched online for hottest fire and Waitakere Ranges, the location where he would later bury Grace in a shallow grave. The next day, he was filmed buying a shovel before driving to Waitakere,
and this
where he
nigga's
buried
all over
her.
camera.
The investigation into Grace's disappearance intensified after her
Like,
parents
literally.
reported her missing. Kempson became a person of interest when Detective Diana Levinson noticed a comment he left on Grace's Facebook profile picture, writing, "Beautiful, very radiant." This digital clue led to a message from Levinson asking Kempson to get in touch. During their conversation, Kempson lied about parting ways with Grace at 10 o'clock when she vanished. However, the E Hotel's CCTV footage contradicted his account. Confronted with this evidence, Kempson eventually confessed to killing Grace, claiming it was an accident during consensual sex. The jury dismissed his defense, swayed by the fact that he did not attempt to seek help after her death.
Yo, you know what's actually so crazy? After he did that to Grace, the nigga went on another Tinder date the next day. The nigga went on another Tinder date the next day. And luckily, she didn't go home with that nigga. Real shit. No, deadass. Because it would have been bad.
Instead, his internet searches post-murder painted a picture of a man plotting to cover up his crime. Jesse's case aside, who would have ever thought of a killer cop? Well, surprisingly, our next killer was once a cop, Wayne Couzens. The case that shocked a nation began on a seemingly ordinary evening in March 2021. Sarah Everard, a 33-year-old marketing executive, vanished while walking home from a friend's house in Clapham, South London. Her disappearance sparked an extensive search and a plea for any information that could lead to her whereabouts. It was the silent sentinels, the CCTV cameras, that first offered a glimpse into her tragic fate. Cousins, cruising the streets in a rental car, hunting for a victim. Cameras captured the moment he stopped Everard, using his police warrant card and the guise of COVID restrictions to falsely arrest and coerce her into his vehicle. This chilling abduction under the pretense of lawful authority was the last time Everard was seen alive. As the investigation unfolded, more footage surfaced, piecing together Cousin's movements before and after the abduction. The cameras tracked him as he journeyed from London to Kent, where he would later dispose of Everard's remains. This extensive CCTV coverage provided irrefutable evidence of his movements, painting a damning portrait of premeditation and guilt.
I'm not gonna lie, no, that is weird as fuck. Ex-cop? This is what I'm saying, bro. Ex-cop? Like, ex-cop, dude? Really, dude? Ex-cop, my nigga? Get the fuck out of here.
Arrest were profound, sending shockwaves through the British policing system. The Guardian's report laid bare a series of catastrophic failures that allowed Cousins to not only join the police force, but to remain within its ranks, despite a troubling history. Allegations of serial sexual abuse, including sexual assault and indecent exposures, marred his past, yet he slipped through the cracks of a flawed vetting process. The fallout from the case prompted a demand for overhauling police vetting procedures. Angiolini's inquiry highlighted 16 recommendations, addressing persistent failings previously identified but remained unrectified. The report underscored the need to take indecent exposure seriously as a potential gateway to more severe crimes. Sarah died because he was a police officer. Their words underscored the harrowing reality that Cousin's authority as an officer was the tool he wielded to carry out his crimes. The trust in the badge, a symbol of safety and order, was irrevocably shattered by one man's actions, captured on camera for the world to witness. But what do we know of Luca Magnotta, a killer from Canada caught on camera? Luca Magnotta.
Yo, how many niggas
is video is Luca Magnotta while auditioning for a documentary. For once, you may be deceived to view him as cheerful, sociable, and charismatic. However, that's where you go wrong, because the person you've just seen committed a barbaric killing contrary to the personality he put out. The Luca Magnotta case is a horror.
Is this nigga pause? Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to my gay niggas. Hey, shout out to my gay niggas. You feel me? Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I met a couple gay niggas. Them niggas is cool as fuck. Now, I ain't gay, but them niggas is cool as fuck. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
A narrative of how a quest.
And I ain't gonna lie. Them gay niggas be handsome. Pause. I'm killing a buck, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie. I never seen no gay, ugly nigga, bro. No funny shit. No funny shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Pause, though. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know. Them niggas take care of themselves very well. Them niggas' skins are so fucking clear. It's like, god damn, nigga. Fuck y'all niggas is doing? The fuck? Real shit, bro.
For infamy turned into a series of chilling crimes that gripped the world. It began with a series of disturbing videos which surfaced online featuring the torture and killing of kittens. These videos, which sparked outrage and a manhunt by animal rights activists, were just the prelude to a far more sinister act that would soon unfold. In 2012, the world was shocked by a grotesque video titled "One Lunatic, One Ice Pick" that surfaced on the internet. This video depicted the brutal murder and dismemberment of a human being using knives and forks. Determined to cause as much shock and notoriety as possible, Magnotta sent hands and feet wrapped in pink tissue paper and black gift bags to 2 schools in Vancouver and lawmakers in Ottawa via Canada Post. He disposed of his victim's head in a wooded park and packed his victim's torso and legs into a suitcase that was thrown into a trash pile. The victim was later identified as Jun Lin, a Chinese international student at Concordia University in Montreal. The gruesome nature of the crime and the fact that it was filmed and shared online caused widespread horror and disgust. As the investigation progressed, it became clear that the perpetrator was Luca Magnotta, a Canadian who had previously sought the spotlight through reality TV and adult films. Magnotta fled Canada, leading authorities on an international chase that culminated in his arrest at an internet cafe in Berlin, where he was found reading news about himself. The sick killer admitted to the killing after being apprehended. However, he attempted to argue that, because of his schizophrenia at the time, he was not criminally responsible for the killing, a defense that the Montreal jury jury categorically rejected after a well-publicized trial in 2014. The case was a media sensation, with every development followed closely by the public. Magnotta's trial in 2014 was a significant event, and the evidence presented, including the camera footage that captured his crimes, played a crucial role in the proceedings. Ultimately, Magnotta was convicted of first-degree murder, among other charges, and received a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 25 years. The Luca Magnotta case constantly reminds us of the dark side of the digital age, where the desire for notoriety can drive individuals to commit unspeakable acts, and where technology can both aid criminals and be instrumental in their capture. It raises profound questions about the nature of fame, the impact of social media, and society's responsibility to recognize and address the warning signs of such dangerous behavior before it escalates to violence. While Magnotta might have been an adult with a conscious mind to tell the difference between right and wrong, Aiden Fucci, our next serial, is not. Can you imagine a 13-year-old killer? The truth is that it's hard to piece together the whole thing, let alone bring yourself to understand what was going through his mind while killing his victim, a fellow teenager, Aiden Fucci. On May 8, 2021, the peaceful community of Durbin Crossing in St. Johns County, Florida, was about to become the backdrop for a crime that would shock many. Tristan Bailey, a vibrant 13-year-old with a passion for—
girl at that? Oh, fuck. Oh, he was a loser. Oh, he was a loser. He was a loser. Okay, yeah. Yeah. See, when these 13-year-olds get the tweaking and they get the killing and it's a nigga killing a girl, it's 9 times out of 10, she didn't want nothing to do with the nigga. The nigga was probably jealous. She probably had a boyfriend. The nigga, yo, bro. You niggas be crazy out here, bro.
Cheerleading vanished into the night, leaving behind a trail of questions and a community on edge. A storm of digital evidence would form in the following hours, starting with surveillance videos. Cameras positioned along Saddlestone Drive captured haunting images of 2 figures, identified as Tristan Bailey and 14-year-old Aiden Fucci, walking together in the direction of a wooded area. The clock ticked away as the two entered the night, but only one figure would return. Approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes later, the same cameras recorded a solitary Fucci, shoes in hand, walking back from the direction of the retention pond where Tristan's body would later be discovered. The discovery of Tristan's body on Mother's Day, mere hours after she was reported missing, marked the beginning of a grim investigation. An autopsy would reveal a staggering 114 stab and cutting wounds, with at least 49 defensive in nature, painting a picture of a brutal and relentless attack. Aiden Fucci, seemingly unfazed by the gravity of his actions—
No, I ain't gonna lie, he looked bugged out. What the fuck? That nigga, you sure that nigga 14? That nigga like he's 17, twin.
Took to social media from the back seat of a patrol car. The image showed him flashing a peace sign with a chilling caption that read, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristan lately?" This brazen display of callousness not only shocked those who saw it, but also served as a digital fingerprint linking Fucci to Tristan's
he's a crash out.
A buck knife with a broken tip, found in the nearby pond, matched a fragment lodged in Tristan's scalp. Bloodstained clothing and shoes, along with a notebook filled with violent drawings, were discovered in Fucci's bedroom. The DNA evidence was irrefutable, and the digital trail, including cell phone records, emails, and texts, further implicated the teenager in this heinous act. Fucci's friends would later recount disturbing behaviors, tales of him sneaking up behind them, mimicking a throat-slitting motion, weird drawings, and sharing fantasies of dragging someone into the woods to stab them. These narratives, once dismissed as the dark humor of a troubled youth, took on a sinister significance in the wake of Tristan's murder. The case against Aiden Fucci was a mosaic of modern detective work, where traditional forensics met the digital age. The camera footage that tracked his movements, the social media posts that flaunted his involvement, and the electronic communications that painted a portrait of a disturbed mind.
I'm not gonna lie, he watched a lot of Michael Myers. I could tell. He just gives me that aura that he just watched a lot of Michael Myers, my nigga. Like, no funny shit. Like, he probably watched the whole entire series. Like, this the nigga he's the type of nigga to watch Michael Myers 1 all the way through Michael Myers 20. No cap. I swear he did it at a very young age. That's where you get it from. No cap, my nigga, because I'm not gonna go behind my friends and be like and mimic a throat slit sound. That would be sick. I would be a sick young man for doing some shit like that. I was never that. That was never me. That was never my body. I ain't gonna lie. That was never my body.
Converged to create an inescapable web of guilt. In the courtroom, the weight of the evidence was overwhelming. When faced with the prospect of life behind bars, Fucci changed his plea to guilty. On March 24th, 23, Judge R. Lee Smith handed down a life sentence, ensuring that the young killer would pay for his crime. In the end, the images of serial killers caught on camera serve as cautionary—
Wait, life? They mean juvenile life, right? I don't think that's life. You can't give a 13-year-old life? Can you?
Tales whereby some victims had it coming. For some, it was a mere mistake of meeting or running into serial killers. Both cases challenge us not only to seek justice after the incidents, but also to cultivate a culture that stops these incidents from happening. If you enjoyed watching this video, check out our other awesome videos on the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. W video though. I ain't gonna lie. W video. Rest in peace to everybody. Rest in peace to everybody that lost their lives in this video. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. And there was a couple that I've heard of that I read documentaries about, and not read, but I've seen documentaries about. So rest in peace to the ones who lost their life, bro. That shit is wicked.